morning, good morning. Today's all about decisions. So I've told you before, I studied this part of, this is a program with Bob Proctor, Thinking into Results. And this is my 7th time around doing this program because this is a program for life, absolute life. And one of the things, so the first lesson is all about goals, but this isn't just normal goal setting. This is the science behind goals. I mean, we go into it in such depth, and every time I go around it, I learn some more and more and more. And more paradigms come out, more programming comes out. And so we're reading this. So Wolfgang and I are sitting there at breakfast. We've got Bob on, we're having our breakfast, and then we sit and read the Decision article. And so this time, Wolfgang read it, and I heard something different this time. It was as if a light bulb moment. And then what happened was, whenever I do my accountability calls with my PGI colleagues, one girl said one thing, and I went, oh, I didn't get that before. And then somebody said something else, where I realized that I wasn't applying decision making. Like, you would think, well, of course I can make decisions. So if somebody said that to me, like before this Bob Proctor program, do you make decisions? Well, of course I do. I'm always taking action, no problem. But here's the thing. What I realized is that even though my body was taking action and I was doing everything, there was a vibration inside me that was doubt. So let me tell you, whenever I used to go, I used to do cross country, so I play polo now, but I used to do cross country on the horses. So my beautiful Maverick, he's now 28 years old, bless him, used to have so much fun, but I used to be petrified. I would be going, I'm the person, you say, Sheena, just go and do it. So like, good morning, Brenda. So like, whenever I was younger, I didn't like water, but everybody else was going scuba diving, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to go scuba diving. But I would go, and I was so petrified, but at least I did it, so that was okay. I've got an experience of scuba diving. Whenever I do cross country, I would be going for those fences. Now, is it any wonder my horse was like, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start? Because that's what I was inside. Well, my body was doing all the action and doing everything in the outside. Inside, I was petrified. I was coming up to those fences and I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Go! I'm so scared. Go! I'm so scared. Luckily, my horse jumped. Well, most times I've had a few falls, but I would still do it. But I realized that that's what I continue to do in my life anyway. Is that if I was, say asking anybody to join the business or whatever, that there was a doubt going on inside going, now here's the thing, it's so subtle, but it is indecision. If you wonder, I wonder what they think. Yeah, just on that level. I wonder what they think. That's doubt. Yeah, and that is literally, that doubt comes from fear and from lack thinking. Okay, it's so subtle you may not even notice it, and I didn't notice it. Now it's just like, oh my God, I see it. And here's what indecision does to you. So let me read some of the things in the article here. But what indecision is, it causes disintegration. It keeps you in one spot. Yeah, so here's the thing. Imagine you come up to a junction in a car, and you could go right or left, but then you go, oh my goodness, I don't know which way it is. The sat-nav says this, but then, I've been that way before. I don't actually know what to do. Oh my goodness. And you sit there, yeah? There's people coming up behind you and they're beeping their horn. You're getting more and more frustrated. And you're going, oh my goodness, I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. Sat-nav saying one thing, your brain's saying something else, okay? But it's normally this way. So you just literally, you're frozen. Yeah, and then you start to analyze things, and there's paralysis by analysis. That's what you do. You sit there and then you don't make a decision. It's like as if there's two polarities coming in on one place, banging away. This is what happens to your body, banging away at your brain, and it's disintegrating it because you're getting all frustrated and don't know. And then you blame everything outside, and you blame the people behind you for beeping the horn to cause your frustration more. Why are they beeping the horn? And sat-nav's stupid, it doesn't know what to go. But then you make a decision, yeah? And you go left. But sat-nav told you to go right. But you go left anyway. Now what's going to happen with the sat-nav, yeah? So whether left or right is right or wrong is not the point. because sat-nav will redirect you anyway to the right way. But you made a decision. You moved forward. You freed yourself. Boom. So I was applying all this work, you see, all these lessons that we do with Bob. So lesson 1 on goal setting, thinking it was all the big stuff, and I'm trying to do all the big stuff out here. When it was the little, tiny, tiny, tiny things every single day. So here's the sort of conversations we have in our head, isn't it? We go, love them, leave them. I know you do that because I did that as well in my relationships. Quit, stay. I like my job, I don't like my job. I need to go, I won't go. I need the job, I need the money. I hate the job, and it's that constant. Do it, don't do it. Buy it, don't buy it. Say it, don't say it. Tell them, don't tell them. Oh my God. Don't you see? You do it all the time. So never mind the big decisions. They're actually easy. Yeah, but even though I would make a big decision, I would have doubt going forward, going, I hope this is the right thing. Boom. That's indecision again. Yeah, can you see what you're doing in life? How things stop, start, stop, start. You have, you don't have, you get, you don't get. You have money, you don't have money. You have a good relationship. Yeah, because you're constantly in this doubt. Now, I know I'm not the only person doing that because I know I've recognized it finally that you're doing it as well. Where are you doing this? So indecision causes disintegration. It's called ambivalence. And the Oxford Dictionary tells us ambivalence is the coexistence in one person of opposite feelings towards the same objective. Do you get it? Opposite feelings towards the same objective. It holds you in place. And the law of the universe is you're either growing or you're dying. So even though you think you're being held in place, you are actually disintegrating. Slowly but surely, we are killing ourselves every single day through indecision. Make a decision. That in itself is freedom. Wow, just there. A decision or a series of decisions would change absolutely everything. The health of your mind and body, the well-being of your family, your social life, the type of relationships you develop, all are dependent on your ability to make decisions. Indecision sets up internal conflicts that can, without warning, escalate into all-out mental and emotional wars. You know it. You do know it. So think of the traffic lights because you're there and you can't decide what to do and everybody's beeping at you behind you. Move on, move on. So you start to blame them, don't you? You think it's their fault. So who are you blaming outside of yourself? Because you can't make a decision. Who are you blaming in the workplace? Because you can't make a decision to stay or go. Yeah? If you're in a relationship, who are you blaming? Because you won't leave, stay. That's what we do. We have such a mental conflict that we blame everything outside ourselves when it's not that. It's inside, but then don't start blaming yourself inside. Just make a decision. It doesn't matter. Any decision you make will be right. I promise you, because you're going to learn something and you're going to get taken to where it is that you're supposed to go. Once you make the decision, you will find all the people and resources you need every time. I have had somebody who came to a webinar of mine, and it's happened a few times, and she literally left there talking about decision, and she went home, she left her job. Then when she messaged me and she said, Sheena, I've left my job. And I'm going, wow, that's awesome. Great decision making. And all weekend, her family were criticizing her and going, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to do this. You need to do that. And you need to do the other. And she just thought, no, I've made a decision. That's it. On the Monday, she had a call from somebody who said, because she wanted to spend time in her own business. She had a call from somebody who said, I've heard that you've left your job. I've been looking for you. I've been waiting for you. And now you're free. So can you come and let's have a talk tomorrow? And then later on that morning, the woman said, actually, don't, just join. Just join. That's it. I can't wait till tomorrow. I want you just to join now. And that woman ended up with a job with twice the amount of money, half the amount of hours, which meant that she could work on her own business. Actually, I wish I knew where she was now, because I'd love to know what else happened. The same happened with Wolfgang. You know, when he decided to leave his corporate career, he ended up picking up a contract with twice the amount of income and half the amount of time. But he didn't know that when he made the decision. He didn't know it when he made the decision. That's what's amazing about this. I mean, there's been a whole other series of decisions. They're just literally one example. So, decision makers are not afraid of making an error. Decide where you are with what you've got. Wow. Here's the thing about it. So if you're not making decisions, wow, this was really got me as well. Okay, so when you doubt yourself, it's about, so indecision is a cause of ambivalence. However, it is a secondary cause. It is not the primary cause. It is clear from decades of studying the behaviour of people who have become very proficient at making decisions that they all have one thing in common. They have a strong self-image, a high degree of self-esteem. They may be as different as night and day in numerous other respects, but they certainly possess confidence. Low self-esteem or a lack of confidence is the real culprit here. That's why you don't make a decision. Now, I'm putting my hands up. You see, we think in our conscious mind, I'm confident, I know this. But then there's something going on in our body. Like, I would stand up in my corporate events and I would talk, but my little knees were shaking, my knees were going up and down. And I would always throw myself at things. But when I got up there, I was like, oh my God, that's lack of confidence and lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth. I didn't know that. I know it now. And that's what I've been working on, is to build that confidence, but not the confidence of ego, the inner confidence of knowing who I truly am. Like Bob says, we are God's highest form of creation. We are power itself. When I talk about self-image, I'm not talking about branding. I'm talking about who you are to the very core of yourself, who you go to bed with at nighttime in here. That you can be fine out there in front of everybody else, but then you come home and who is that person who's having that conversation in your head? Who's that tiny little person? Nit, 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 chitter, 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 putting you down. Little tiny things. Tiny, tiny, tiny things. Do not ignore them. Do not ignore them, because that is the real self-image that's going on inside. And if you're tiny little bit, you can't just, it doesn't matter if it's a tiny little bit of doubt or a big bit of doubt, because you either trust 100% or you don't. Like, I remember with somebody in a relationship, and she says, well, I trust him 90%. I said, well, you don't trust him then. You trust or you don't. That's it. There's no 90% about it. You've just told me you don't trust him. Now, either if you're going to stay in a relationship, it doesn't matter what that relationship is. It could be with a person, with a friend, with money, with your house, with your job. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about a relationship to everything, even with yourself, even with God. Trust is 100% or it's nothing. So when you feel, oh, that tiny little bit of doubt, I wonder, boom, that's your self-confidence and self-esteem, not trusting. Okay? So one way around that, and here's a trick, as soon as you feel lack of doubt or lack of trust, just go, think immediately of what you want. I mean, yesterday's one was, I did the long process, but this is what I do now. I think immediately of what I want, and then I go, thank you. I get the image, and then I go, thank you. Yeah? So there's a law of cause and effect. Here's the thing. Think of, what effect do I want first? Don't just run at something and think it's just going to happen. I want you to think of, what effect do I want? And then, what's the cause? And you know what the cause is? You make a decision. You visualize what you want and you say, thank you. It's so amazing just to start doing that. That's just like walk around going, what effect do I want? What effect do I want? What's the outcome here? Yeah? So the law of all laws is the law of cause and effect. Think of the effect you want, then go back and you be the cause. I'm successful because I made a decision. Because. Be the cause. Don't be saying things. I'm not successful because of whatever's going on in the world. I'm not happy because you are being the cause. Do you get it? So make a decision to be the cause of greatness in your life because it's happening anyway. There you go. Because I'm being the cause, it's happening anyway. It is actually all me. Yeah, if it's got to be, it's up to me. So you better know who me is. Remember that. And I'm not the me I think I am. I'm not the me you think I am. I am the me I think you think I am. So if it's got to be, it's up to me. So I better know who me is. Listen, if you want to know more, Bob's doing his paradigm shift. Why haven't you registered yet? Make a decision to register for Bob's paradigm shift the 26th of June. The link is up there. Just flipping do it. Come on. I'm going to do free coaching the whole way to the 26th of June. And then that weekend, we're going to get together. And yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to be listening to Bob. I'll do live Zooms. We'll do extra question and answers. And we'll literally have messenger group going on and network with other people as well. The people that I've had on these groups before, the Science of Getting Rich and previous paradigm shifts, they're all still in contact with each other. What a great way to network. Get on the paradigm shift. It could literally shift your life. You listen to me every morning, that's absolutely great, but that's not going to do it. I'm a temporary shift in you. Bob is the work. Bob's words are amazing. Yeah? Anybody else is it whenever you do a coaching program and you're putting more stuff in top of your head, but your paradigms here is your foundation. Yeah, your paradigms are your foundation. Doesn't matter how much more knowledge you're going to put in your head. And you know the reason why I'm so passionate about this? Because I was that person. I was the person who literally had all the knowledge, all the qualifications, worked as hard, but I had a rocky foundation. I wasn't going to grow anything. You need to shift those paradigms, please, please, please. You need to shift the paradigms, and those become really great roots. Have all the knowledge you want after that. But if you have knowledge and you don't have those paradigms shifted, that's why you rise and fall. And I don't know about you, but I was totally sick of that. Totally sick of rising and falling. Totally sick of whinging at myself, totally sick of being in a victim mode, totally sick of worrying about, well, I'm okay for the next 6 months. No, I'm okay for the rest of my life. Yeah? Because I shifted those paradigms, and some of them are nasty little things, and some I didn't even hear them because I'm so knowledgeable. I've read the books. Look at me, I'm wonderful. I've read the books. Got all the qualifications. Let me tell you, stop building on false foundations. Join the paradigm shift. Start to hear and feel your paradigms, and let that be the start of this paradigm shifting so that you can change the results and you don't have to worry again, and you have security, you have peace of mind, you have love, connection, joy, and happiness inside. Nothing to do with the outside. Yeah? Anyway, there you go. Lecture over from Sheena. Have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me. See ya.